I'm never gonna financially recover from this. What's up, guys? If you are expecting a baby or are just about to have one, this is the video for you. Today's video, we're gonna break down exactly what it costs us to have a baby from pregnancy all the way through the first month of life. Section one, we're gonna call it the medical cost. This is the cost that really blindsides a lot of people. A little disclaimer, this does include insurance. So we had insurance, our deductible's around $3,000. It's gonna start from the moment you guys realize you guys are pregnant. That's when your OBGYN appointments start. For us, it was fixed costs. For all the OB appointments, our fixed total cost was $3,200. And this comes into play later because our deductible is just about $3,000. The next section is the hospital and delivery cost, which still falls under that medical umbrella. It was 3 days and 2 nights in which we stayed at the hospital. The hospital bill was over $7,000, but the majority of the cost was taken by insurance, and our out-of-pocket cost ended up being $255.24. The anesthesia bill, which a lot of people don't realize is a separate bill entirely from the hospital bill. Anesthesia bill after insurance out-of-pocket cost for us was $173.77. The hospital itself also has expenses while you're there. You have to eat. I spent about $35 in hospital food, which was not too bad considering hospital food is usually pretty cheap, and as long as you're not super picky with what you eat, really not a big issue. Section 1 total, which is medical costs. The breakdown for that section so far is $3,664.01. All right, so second section, we're gonna call this section the at-home one-time cost. This is all the stuff you're gonna wanna set up before baby is home and before you even head off to the hospital. Subsection 2A, we're gonna call it the nursery. First thing on the nursery items is the bassinet, or where the baby is gonna sleep. We ended up going with the 4 Moms Mama-Roo bassinet, which is awesome, has a ton of cool features. It's actually $419 new, but we didn't pay that. We actually got it off of Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, and we paid under $100 to get the bassinet, and then also to replace the mattress with the new mattress and new covers. This is gonna be a theme of the video, is that baby items, you can buy them new, but people have babies a lot, and babies grow very fast. So there is a ton of used and a ton of new items that people post on Marketplace for a fraction of the cost. A rocker, we actually experimented with a few rockers, which I definitely recommend. We ended up going with a swing. It's called the Ingenuity swing from Target. It was $121. A changing table. This is kind of a little bit of a luxury item because in reality, you can technically not use a changing table. You can just basically change the baby on any flat surface, your couch, your bed. But I'm being honest with you, changing table was a game changer. It just made life so much easier to have a dedicated area to change things. One of those items that again, we got off of Facebook Marketplace, brand new in the box, $40. That being said, if you went with the new one, it'd probably be around $80. The subtotal for the nursery and the comfort items ends up working out to be $271.14 for subsection 2A nursing. We're moving on to subsection 2B, which we call the feeding and breast milk section. This section is going to be very different for a lot of people. If you don't do breast milk, or if you end up doing formula, this is going to be numbers that are going to be completely different from what we had. We did end up using formula in the beginning and just waiting for the supply of breast milk to come into play. But luckily, we had a ton of formula from the hospital itself. So pro tip, ask for extra formula before you leave the hospital. They usually will give it to you. And that lasted us the the first week or so until the breast milk really came into full swing. First item in this list, bottle washer. We went with the Baby Brezza Bottle Washer Pro, which was awesome. This thing is great. It saves you so much time. It washes, it sterilizes, and it dries all the bottles for you. And it fits these Dr. Brown bottles very well, which is what we ended up buying. I would 100% recommend it. New, that is $299.97, which is paying for. My wife actually got it off the marketplace for 50 bucks. The second thing we needed was a bottle warmer. So it's one of those items that we needed for our baby, but you may not need for yours. We had a bottle warmer. It was Public, and total cost for the bottle warmer with tax was $34.39. If you bottle feed, you're gonna need bottles. We went with the anti-colic 4-ounce bottles from Dr. Brown, and they're great. They're glass bottles too, so they're real easy to sterilize. And those ended up being $64.48. We ended up buying 2 packs, which they come in packs of 4, which is why they totaled $64. The heavy hitter here is the breast pump itself. So the breast pump itself, you cannot buy used. It's one of those weird items that it's technically a medical item, so you're not gonna be able to buy it off the marketplace, or you shouldn't buy it off the marketplace. There's also a limited lifespan on those things, so you're probably gonna wanna buy it new. My wife ended up going with the Spectre 1 electric. That was a whopping $287.01. Sorry, I got to check on baby. We're gonna just carry her through the rest of the video here. Next up on this list, pumping bras and clothes for maternity clothes. It's clothes for your wife, essentially. She wore a lot of my clothes during the actual pregnancy, but you need pumping bras. Those are specific here, but that ended up working out to be $128.94. The bulk of that being the Mom Cozy hands-free pumping bras. You're gonna have to get a freezer of some sort to store the excess breast milk if you have it. And that's gonna be a huge issue. And all right, Bubba, let's take a break. Okay, we're back. Sorry, had to put her down. Deep freezer, and it ended up being $240.09. And then finally, you're gonna need feeding bibs. So as you feed the baby, you're gonna wanna try to get a bib under there. That way it prevents a bunch of the spillover. Babies eat dirty, they're messy animals. Cheap 50 pack off of Amazon for 40 bucks. That brings the subtotal for this section to $844.91. It's looking rough, boys. Let's try this again. Section 2C, we're gonna call it the safety, tech, and clothing section. So these are items you really get to compromise on because there's a lot of fluctuation in what you can get, but there's certain things. First thing in this list is your car seat. This you really can't compromise on. Car seat's one of those weird things that if it's been in a car wreck before, you really aren't supposed to use it, and there's a expiration date on car seats as well. It's one of those items we didn't feel comfortable with buying used here. We ended up going with the Chico, and it was the Key Fit series, and that worked out to be a whopping $268.74. Baby monitor. There's plenty of cheaper options out there, but we ended up going with the Nanit Pro. The cool thing about the Nanit is that you can actually attach it to your phone as an app, and you can also use it with a band that will kind of give you notifications on noise, movements. It'll also give you notifications on breathing. But it's one of those things we actually found again on Marketplace. My wife is a thrifter. She's great at buying stuff, and she got it for $100 flat. And then finally, baby clothes. Now, baby clothes is a weird item, especially newborn baby clothes, because you don't know how big your baby's gonna be. There's a decent chance that they might not even fit the baby clothes or newborn clothes at all. So for us, if I redid it, I would have only bought 7 pairs of clothes. That is about $6 a pair, so we're gonna call that an even $42. So that brings the safety and tech subsection to $410.74. 2D, which is the miscellaneous and essentials / organization section. This is all kind of the random stuff. Swaddles. We went with Swaddle Me, and that ended up running $38.68, and that was well worth it to us. A baby bath tub, a little cup that helps rinse baby's head, towels and whatnot. Your setup's gonna probably be different, but that ended up running us $65.82. A rolling cart. So we bought a 3-tier rolling cart off of Amazon. This thing is great to have next to the changing table. You just stick all your wipes, all your diapers over there. It just makes this whole thing so much more convenient. These are the little things that you don't think you need, but this will make your life easy. And that ended up running us $35.46, just an Amazon Basics item. And finally, a diaper trash can. We found one. There's like really big, I think Diaper Genie's the big brand. We didn't go with any brand name one. We just found one off the marketplace, and it was $10 plus the gas cost. But so for this subtotal, which is the miscellaneous items, the total comes out to be $166.29. Section 2 as a whole, now there's 4 subsections to section 2, come out to a whopping $1,693.08. Whew, this is getting bad fast. So section 3 is gonna be your daily costs. So these are the ones that people think of a lot of times, and there's not as many as you probably think. Diapers. So for diapers, we went with Huggies, and that was just because that's what the hospital gave us at the time, and she didn't have reactions to it or anything like that, so we just kind of stuck with it. Huggies for newborns, they come in big packs of 144 per box. Each box is going to run you around $45.99 plus tax. So based on our calculation, baby pooped or peed pretty much every 2 hours, every feed. And it was around the clock for the first month, pretty much. So rough estimate, 30 days in the month, 12 diapers a day. That's gonna get you to 360 diapers. So let's call it an even 3 boxes. So 3 boxes of Huggies is gonna run a total of $145.08. Wipes, obviously part of diaper changes is make sure you're wiping, otherwise gross. We want Huggies, again, natural care. Wipes are actually pretty affordable. It's $18.59 for a box that's pretty much lasted us through the whole first month. Diaper cream, which is the last part of this, which every diaper change usually involves some type of diaper cream. If you have a baby that's real sensitive to diaper rash, you're really gonna want this. 1 bottle is gonna last a long time. So that ended up being $24.73. And that gives us the section 3 subtotal for daily baby supplies at $188.40. Section 4, monthly bills. So oddly enough, you don't think about it because you think little human is barely gonna use anything, but our water bill alone was almost double what it was. It went up $26.17 from the month before she was born to the month that she was born. When you have all these things connected to your house, your Nanit, your security cameras, all the baby monitor items and stuff like that, for some reason it really tore through our data usage for our internet. I've never had it even close to being close to our data max, but when baby came, we got notifications that we were gonna max out our data, and I had to get the unlimited plan, which was $50 extra a month. So that really sucked. And then energy bills. She was a warm sleeper, so she would not sleep when it was cold, so I had to turn the gas on or turn the heaters on a lot more frequently than I wanted. Our electric and gas bills went up like 100%, maybe even more than 100%. And we calculated the difference, ended up being around $116.26 difference. So the section 4 total cost subsection is going to come out to $192.43 of increased bill. So from the day that you are pregnant to the day that the baby is 1 month old. Oh, drum roll, please. Ooh, okay, so grand total comes out to be $5,737.92.
Yay!
Ooh, let that sink in. And it's only been a month. So this is not meant to scare you. This is meant to just kind of prepare you. That's all for today. Love on your baby, love your wife. God bless. Like and subscribe if you want to watch more and kind of learn more about my first time experience being a dad, and maybe follow my journey through becoming a better Christian, becoming a better dad. Follow the channel, like, subscribe. See you next time.